Yeah, this is Bagman Rail. A friend of mine, yeah, very good friend of mine. We used to work together. I met him in Borstal, a guy called Richard Allen. Richard Allen could really march on, mate. He was a wiry guy and could have a right fight. You know, wasn't a fighter to no one. And when I was in Borstal, in Portland, Borstal, he run his wing, yeah, his house. He run his house, and he was a proper fighter, mate. Me and him got very, very close. There's a few people might even know him who've done Portland. Very close. And when we come out, we had a meet. And I met him down Acton High Street in a place called Lions. Remember Lions House? Lions Tea House, next door to Woolworths. Yeah, I can go back some time, in Uxbridge Road. And I met him in there. I used to meet him there quite a lot, yeah. Have a drink and have a chat. And he could have a right to fight. He was like one of the top guys in Acton at his age, 16, 17, 18, 17 I think it was. And he could march on you. And one day he come into Lions's. I've been down the market. He come into Lions's, and his face was a bit marked out. I said, "What's up with you?" He said, "Oh, that Mickey Burke." I said, "What about Mickey Burke?" He said, "I met him out. I was having a swim. So I come out the baths, and he's there, and Mickey Burke is like a bully, yeah, a bully, money bully, yeah. 32, 33, we were 17, bit of bully. Loved to bully kids, yeah." One day he's going to get it, you know. One day he will cop it, yeah. So he's had to go to Richie. Richie said he's got no money, went to go in his pocket. Ricky's pulled, is it Ricky on the chin? Ricky's just walked away. I said, Ricky, Richard, you would punch his lights out, mate. He went, nah. He said, you would punch his lights out. I said, tell you what we're going to do. Meet me in the morning. Me and you go down in Gunsbury Park, start training. So we're meet me in the morning. We go to Gunsbury Park, run around the Gunsbury Park once. Go into where the logs are, there's big logs here, put the logs, do squats, put the log down, do burpees, leg thrusts, alternate leg thrusts, press ups and all that, yeah? And then run around again, come back to the log, and do bunny jumps with the log, twist with the log and all them sort of things. And then come do again, and do sit-ups with a bit of log behind it, you know what I mean? Hold your legs really tight, someone hold it, and then do sit-ups with the logs. And do that, yeah? And we've done that for about, 2-3 weeks? Nearly every day we go training. And Ricky and Richard Allen was getting really, really fit. He's always been fit, very wide, but very strong. So I said, come on, mate, we're going to have a fight with Mickey Burke, you know what I mean? Let's go and bash him up, you know? He went, no. I said, let's go and bash him up. No, let's go and bash him up. So me and Richie were walking around Acton looking for this Mickey Burke, yeah? And we caught him down Bolliver's Road by a pub called Nolder's, the Anchor, yeah? Caught him down there near there, yeah? By the school. So me and Richie Allen walked over and said, oh, Mick, how you going? Richie Allen go bang, hit him on the chin. As Richie Allen hit him on the chin, I hit him the other side, right? Come on. It doesn't matter about 1 or 2, we ain't letting him get away with it, you know what I mean? He's 33, 32, 33, bullying kids. And he ain't going to bully no more. Like, we battered him. We smashed him to pieces. All of a sudden, we walked away. We left him on the floor, left him smashed to pieces. Blood coming out his nose, coming out his eyes, out his mouth. He ate. Now, we know he ain't going to come back. He ain't going to come back, mate. No way is he going to come back. It deflated him, yeah? It deflated him. He's been bashed up by 2 kids, yeah? But 2 kids that are up and coming, yeah? So he ain't going to come back. He ain't going to come back at all. But he come back at Richie again. This time, listen, Richie Allen punched him all round the gaff, smashed him to pieces. Richie Allen come back one day to Lions' tea house, come in, big smile on his face. He said, I just done Mickey Burke, bashed him up really, really bad. Like, yeah! I didn't think he'd come back after you bashed him up. I thought he lost his spirit, but he come back, yeah? So Richie Allen done him, yeah? So me and Richie was really like, it was like just, then Richie went out with my sister. It was like good, it was like close, yeah? And then Richie worked with me, we worked with a guy called Danny Williams, who's do all the houses, yeah? Converted all the houses, get the spec and knocking walls down. And me and Richie had a thing, what we should do is these big fences outside, yeah? With a thing coming out, we used to get hold of them and bend them over. Yeah, bend them. Who could do the best one? But Richie Allen, he's like as strong as an ox. Yeah, why? And he could do it better than me, yeah. And I was getting the ump, you know what I mean? Because I thought I was a lot stronger than what he was. Eventually, I could do it, you know. And me and Richie got very, very close. So we got so close, we started doing bits and pieces together, work together. We started doing work and getting lots of money, yeah. And because of that, we was never apart. We was always pubs, clubs, and it wasn't many clubs. It was more pubs, really. And I didn't drink. Richie liked to drink, but I didn't drink. I was always on the orange, or the lemonade, or the black currant, and Guinness, or something like that, yeah. Richie's always, he loved to fight, Richie, he could fight, but I loved him being by him because if he had a fight, I had a fight. I mean, bash him up together, yeah. And one day, Richie's overacting, just minding his own business, mate, you know. He's sitting on the bench and someone came behind him and stabbed him bad with a sword. Mate, honestly, I mean, when I say stabbed him bad, the sword went right through him, yeah. We always thought it was Mickey Burke. Got someone to do it. Mickey Burke paid someone to do it. The guy just come up behind him, sitting on the bench, and put a sword straight through him. How Richie Allen survived, I don't know. I mean, he survived, yeah. The sword was like through him, mate. The sword was through him, you know. The guy didn't pull the sword out, whether or not he couldn't pull it out, you know. But the sword was through him. And the ambulance come, and he was like, because I think he was like, I would have thought he was dead, you know. He survived, Rich. I mean, when I say he survived, but he become half the man he was, yeah. When he came out of hospital, he was about 8.5, 9 stone, but a mess, complete mess, yeah. They ripped him to pieces. His stomach was what, I don't know, 18 inches, big scar. His back was crisscrossed and all that, scarred up to death, yeah. But it was half the man he was. I tried to get back with Richie to get him training, but he wasn't that interested. And it's a shame, yeah. It's a shame that people you're so close with get stabbed up. And then over the way, come out again. And then a pal of mine, a very good pal of mine, was down a place called Church Road in Acton. And opposite the pub I was talking about the other day, you know, the Prince of Wales. He's sitting outside there, talking to some people, but he's had a row with these guys from Liverpool. He's had a right row with the guys and bashed one of them up, yeah? And there's 3 of them, yeah? I know 2 brothers and another one, but there's 2 at that time, yeah? So he's sitting in his motor, just talking on the phone, just about to go, put his seatbelt in. As he put his seatbelt in, a big arm came around and stabbed him. But they didn't stab him once, yeah? They stabbed him 26 times. He put his hands up to defend himself. The knife went through his hand, cut nearly 2 of his fingers off as well, yeah? They stabbed him in the shoulders, they stabbed him in the arms, stabbed him in the chest, stabbed him in the legs, they stabbed him in the head, they stabbed him everywhere, yeah? He was, I should imagine, nearly dead. They punctured both his lungs. He couldn't breathe. So when the ambulance eventually did come, right, the ambulance got there, well, it did come, it did save his life, yeah? But they put masks on over his face so they thought he couldn't, but it made it worse because his lungs were punctured and he couldn't breathe anyway. He was in a right bad way. They had to do an emergency operation on the pavement, yeah, honestly. They had to do an emergency operation on the pavement. It was lucky that the people that had that ambulance, one of them could do that, yeah, and saved his life, saved his bacon, yeah. Done it in such a way that he could breathe, yeah, and he couldn't breathe at that time. He nearly died, yeah, and he come out in a right bad way, a real bad mess, yeah. Even today, he has his back and his hands and all that. He gets rheumatism and his hands get very bad in the cold and certain lung he can't breathe and it's terrible. But anyway, these people had to be obliged, that had to be done, that had to be really, really hurt, yeah. So there's a pub called the Elephant and Castle in Acton High Street. Next door to it is McDonald's now, yeah. Anyway, Elegant Castle, and there's a little alleyway there, and down at the bottom of the alleyway is my mate Reg, the one that died, and his brother, his son, yeah. He's got a house down there anyway. So they're going, so they're driving to behind this car, yeah. This car's going slow, but what we don't realise that these two brothers and this other guy, three of them, are in the car. Right, they're coming to do the guy that lived next door to Reg, because he was involved with the other guy who got stabbed up. But they come to do him. But little do they know, we're behind. We don't even know we're up the arse. We don't even know that. So they're going slow, so we're bibbing them up, and they turn around, they're giving it all the business, yeah, to us. So my mate hits them up the arse, and they stop and get out of the car. So now there's me, my mate, and his dad. Right, I'm talking about, not about his dad. Get out of the car. We're going to have a right fight with these people, right? And Mum's telling about a fight. With so much shouting and screaming in there, and they're shouting and screaming at us, that people in the pub now come out. It's not a night time, it's a daytime. I come out of the pub to watch what's going on. It's just not far down the road. We've come out to have a right fight with these people. They've come out of the cars to have a fight with us, but they come out with things in their hands. Right? So now, Reg has gone, okay, the thing's in their hands. He goes to the car and gets, he's a lad, Reg, isn't he? He gets out this great big sword, right? It's a sword, yeah? He gets out this great big sword. We nearly going to have a fight with these geezers. We're chopping it. He's Reg. He's mad, mate. I mean, coming after all what happened to him, he's mad, yeah? We chop these people to pieces. We stab them, chop them up, and hit them with hammers and everything. We back them up to the elbows and kneecaps. We smash them to pieces. I ain't going to say that I never got hit. I got hurt. They had dusters on, yeah? One hit me on the chin, nearly broke my jaw. My jaw went round my face about 5 times, you know what I mean? I went on the floor. I got up and anyway, but I had a right fight, and we've done them bad. We cut them up, something terrible, yeah? Put them back in the car, drove the car off, and we buried them somewhere. Not buried, we put them, not buried, didn't kill them, put them somewhere, and that was it, yeah? But anyway, the story goes on about that, yeah? But let me tell you what happened after. We all got in the car, we went down to a minute to go to, and we happened to find out that what they was doing. I mean, not the guy next door, and said to them they was going to come to your house and oblige you. And, you know, you're lucky that we was around at that time and done what we did. We didn't even know at that time what we was going to do. We found out, yeah? So eventually, right, they've gone back to Liverpool. My mate then gets a phone call from this guy in Liverpool. Don't forget, he's dealing with these people, doing other things. This is why he got stabbed up, yeah? Because he's always had a fight with them over something else. And they go on the phone to him, yeah, he is, and all this, that, and the other. I goes down there with my mate, by myself, with my mate, 2 of us, go down there, go to a pub. Do you know what? To have arsehole is too much, innit? You shouldn't have that much arsehole, you know what I mean? Goes down there to this pub, me and this other geezer, walks in the pub, then we're going to get killed. I tell you what, mate, I smashed 2 of these geezers, these Liverpudlians, to pieces. I've had a few comments before about it, saying who were the family. I ain't going to say. But I went into this pub and I bashed these 2 up. Straight. I bashed them up bad with my fist, mate. With my fist, I bashed them up bad. Listen, I ain't afraid of getting killed, really. You know what I mean? But I smashed them. I smashed them to pieces. Gary couldn't believe it, my mate. He couldn't believe it. He went, fucking hell, mate. He just couldn't believe it. He couldn't believe how quick I was, and how fast I was, and how hard I could punch. He knew how I could punch hard, but I bashed these 2 up really, really bad. I could tell you what, I've got to say it. The people in the pub, no one that jumped in, no one helped. There was only me and Garrett, but my mate didn't. He just sat there and watched it, you know. The people in the pub, them 2 in the pub, there must have been bullies. Real bad bullies from Liverpool, mate. And for me to come all the way down from London to Liverpool, just two of us all in the pub and have a fight, we're lucky we never got killed. But these people in the pub must have known these two were bullies, mate. And I smashed them to pieces. Mind you, we got out of the pub a bit quick and we come back to London a bit quick, yeah? But let me tell you, never heard another word from these people yet. Never heard another word. Because I deflated them, mate. I deflated them to walk from London to Liverpool to go in a pub and bash them up. But I've had lots of comments of people in Liverpool saying, who's these brothers and this and the other, but just leave it at that. I don't want to embarrass them. You know what I mean? Anyway, yes, I come back to London. Then lots of things happen in that sort of time. We got a big fight later on. The big fight in the club with my mate Gary. Gary's the one who's been stabbed 26 times, yeah, and he's in the club upstairs. All them Chelsea headhunters upstairs causing big fights. 26 times Gary been stabbed. Remember that. And there's Gary in the pub, in the bar upstairs, in the club, banging to fuck, been knifed all over the gaff, right? Even took me to Liverpool, but this was after what happened in the pub. But after what happened in the club, because Gary's together now, yeah? But at that time, before we went up to Liverpool, Gary's in the club, in the Central Park, upstairs, and they got all them Chelsea headhunters coming in, and then it's off. Gary caused the problem. Gary's hitting across here with a cider bottle. Someone hit me over there with a cider bottle, nearly knocked my head off. Gary's gone mad. He's throwing all sorts of things around the club. He's gassed the club up. He's got CSS gases, gassing all the club up. He's stabbing people up. Gary's murdered with a knife, mate. Stabbing people up. There's other people who get stabbed up. There's that nutty, silly Matty lying on the floor like a baby. Don't hurt me. Matty, the same Matty that I'm talking to you about. He's upstairs on the floor crying like a baby. I found a gold chain in the watch that I give to my mate John, who owns the place. It was Matty's, yeah? So Matty got that back and thanked me very much. But Matty was on the floor. Don't hurt me. No, seriously. Now, he had a fight, Matty. Fair play to him. He did have a fight, but they got bashed up. Tommy McCoy, Billy McCoy was up there. They can have a right fight, them two, with Billy and Tommy. They didn't hit the floor or nothing. They were just fighting. Me and Craig said he was knocking them out, and so was I. Craig said he was doing it more so than I, but I don't know. I thought I knocked a few out. I was on the door, I knocked a few out. But and then do you know what was funny? Me telling you about Mickey Burke and Richie Allen bashing Mickey Burke up. His two sons, Andy Burke and the other Burke, they're the ones that put the gun in Jefferson King's mouth. They're nutty, mate. And about 2 weeks later, he put the gun in a 38 gun in someone's mouth and blew it back to his head off. So he was very lucky, Jefferson King. I don't blame him for not working anymore, you know what I mean? But anyway, yeah, this is like a lot went on in Acton. I mean, we used to fight a lot, you know, and I mean, I've said a lot of things on other podcasts about this, but it's all get it all together, innit? A little bit together. I used to knock about a guy called Danny Williams. Me and Danny was very, very close, mate. We was like brothers, like Richie Allen and myself. We was like brothers, me and Danny. Always together, always, any fights, I stuck by him, he stuck by me, yeah. I remember one day, we used to go to a place called Deli's. Deli's was a Chinese takeaway and a big restaurant, yeah. So we used to go in the restaurant, sitting there, but always every Saturday or Friday, going there at night and have a nice Chinese, or go down the road, a place called the Burlington Steakhouse in Acton. Go down there. There's another story there to tell you about this story. Anyway, me and Daniel are in Deli's, goes in Deli's. But as you walk in there, there's loads of noise, people shouting like this goes out of fashion, screaming and shouting. And these big guys, all massive guys, big guys, yeah? So we're sitting there and then Danny starts, oi, keep your noise down, mate. Worst thing we could have said, Danny. because they were Wasps, rugby players, Wasps, yeah. And we had a row with these fellas, right? And we was like, I was bowling. Because I ain't bothered, you know what I mean? It's a fight, isn't it? You know what I mean? It's all fists, it's a fight. So we're having a fight in there, and the right hands are being thrown. I'm getting on the chin, going down, getting up, fighting. Me and Danny's the same. And in the end, we had to get out of there before we got nearly killed. So as we're trying to get through the door, they're dragging us back. They're dragging from us back, and then more than dragging us back. So in the end, she called the police, Delhi. We got out there with the skin of our teeth anyway. We got outside, went to Danny's car, drove off, yeah. Smashed to pieces, but it's good, isn't it? It was a good thing. But the Burlington Steakhouse in Acton, near Acton Town Station, big steakhouse. Everyone who's going there was T-bone steaks, you know. And I met a guy in there called Wiggy Purdy. Wiggy Purdy was one of the only guys to escape from Parkhurst, yeah. Honestly, tried to swim across the thing. And Wiggy Purdy was the fittest man you could ever meet. Old boy, fit, but he used to do like his palette knife, you know, like paintings, doing his paintings. And he used to do his palette knives, and he was fantastic. And I had about 4 of them from my mum, yeah, paid 20 quid each for them. And my mum ran all around the house, but little did I know, they was everywhere. Everybody had them, you know what I mean? Love Wiggy, got Wiggy with me. He was around with me all the time. I love Wiggy to death. Loved him to death, mate, the old boy. I'll tell you more bigger story later about Wiggy. So anyway, this particular time, the time that I'm in there, but I'm in there with Dave Bradford. Dave Bradford's a big demolition company. Tommy Green got done for killing Joe Rouse's brother. Stabbed him up, chopped him up, put him under the patio. There was Jackie Lane in there, Jackie Lane. There was loads of people, loads and loads of people, all demolition workers, yeah? All demolition workers. Big, powerful, hands like slabs, yeah? All cut, scars, all down their face and all that. Yeah. They're in there, I'm in with Danny. And the guy that owns the place is had to go at Dave Bradford over something, yeah? Dave's gone mad. He's got to go, he's gone, and you don't get out of this place, this is what he's talking to Dave, I'm in there. He said, don't get out of this place, you know, I'm going to call the police, you know, pay the bill, this and that. And Dave wants to pay the bill, but the guy's taking the piss. What he's putting on the bill, what he's putting on isn't even stuff that's come over. And Dave, listen, Dave's Keiko, he ain't bothered about no tenner, but he doesn't want these people to say, Liberty's with him. So Dave's saying, I ain't paying it. I'm going to call the police, get out of my place. That's how we're going to get out then. So they all got out. Dave's across the road. This geezer's shouting his mouth about, yo, Mr. Dad, yeah. Listen, Dave Bradford used to wear a flat cap all the time. Dave Bradford was about, 18.5 stone? Everybody in the anchor was petrified of Dave Bradford. I swear to God. Dave Bradford was one of the hardest men you could ever see. He used to carry gas bottles under his arms, 2 gas bottles. And if he give you the sack, and the demolition company he worked on, he'd knock you out as well. Everybody was petrified of Dave Bradford, mate. And, you know, he was a proper hard man, yeah. I love Dave. His son does the same thing, I think. But I love Dave Bradford, mate, and he died of cancer, shame. But hard. Then you couldn't take the mickey out of him. This guy, the guy at the Burlington, said the wrong things to Dave, but he's got to call the police and this, that, and the other. I think run his wife down at the same time. She's had to go, and he says what he shouldn't have said to his wife, yeah? Maybe swore at her, yeah? I'm in there. I ain't on the same table as them. They're on a different table. So me and Danny are in the corner. Dave's gone out of the place, shouting and screaming. All the others are out there with him, all nutcases, mate. Dave Bradford always wear a cap. Put the cap over his eyes, run through the plate glass window. He ran through the plate glass window to get hold of the governor's place. The governor's locked the door. They can't get in. We can't get out, but they can't get in. He's called the police. That's why he's locked the door. Dave Bradford has run from one side of the road to the other side, right through the restaurant. Believe it or not, I'm telling you, the window was about, I don't know, 20 foot, 30 foot wide by about 10 foot tall. He ran through that like a lunatic and then smashed the place up inside. Smashed it up, smashed it to death. The people in the restaurant, in where they cook all the food, right, come out with all sorts of knives, choppers and this, that and the other. You got Tommy Green, as I told you what he did. You got Jackie Lane, who's mad as they come, Jackie. You got all the mothers, all Meaty Kemp, all them other people that are crazy at the demolition firm, all come in and want to have it. Breaking chair legs, this, that leg, and going to smash it to pieces, yeah? They didn't want it, mate. They didn't want it. The police was called. Dave Bradford is absolutely minted, yeah? Big demolition company, Bradford's. Pay for the window to be done. Pay for all the damages in the chairs. He never got nicked. He explains to the police, how the police let it go. And believe it or not, Dave Bradford went back into the Burlington and they become mates. Then the governor and Dave become right powers. It's crazy, isn't it, how things go, isn't it? But that's how it went. I love Dave. I love my old mate Danny Williams. I love Richie Allen. Richie Allen disappeared. No one's seen him since. I believe that he got involved with drugs. He's dead now. I don't know. But Acton was the place to be. I mean, I used to fight a guy called Nikki Smith. I've told you this before. It's been on my podcast, but why not? Let's go through it. I used to fight there was a guy called Nikki Smith, yeah? Me and Nikki Smith, it was over a woman, yeah? This was over a young girl. We were only young. Me and Nikki Smith had a row as kids. And I used to go to a place called the Private Youth Centre, yeah? And go in there, do a little bit of boxing and a few weights, yeah? So I'll do it most days, 5 days a week, go in there with weights and do a bit of boxing. So this particular day, I'm trying to nick Nikki Smith's bird. She's in a little bar, not a drinking bar, coffee, orange juice out by it, yeah? I'm in there, tries to nick his bird. She's told Nikki that I've tried to nick her, yeah? So Nikki Smith had a bad name in Acton. He was a nutcase, yeah? I wasn't afraid of him. I thought, I'm the governor. Why should I be afraid as kids? Not the governor's big men, but as kids. Well, kids, not kids, 20, anyway. So me and Nikki, I'm in there, this is before, I'm not 20 there, I'm about 89. I come out of the club to meet Nikki, yeah? But Nikki's come behind me with a big bottle. Wham, bang, across the head. Right? I hit the floor, he kicked me in the face, he's sat in a fight. I get up, bing, chin him, knock him over. Right? I go in, my head split up, and he runs out the place. One. I come out of the club, I come out of the 5U Centre, I come out, right, with a couple of my pals walking down the road. Nikki comes behind me, hits me straight across the head with a big bit of wood. He don't stop. I get up, we have a fight, ping, I knock him out. He's on the floor, gone. 2 days later, I'm down Acton High Street. This geezer doesn't know how to say, beat, stop it. Fair play to you, mate, in that case. I'm down Acton High Street. I go in Woolworths to buy something. I come out of Woolworths. Who's there? Nikki Smith. He's got a big pair of hobnail boots on, metal toe caps. He kicks me right in the knees, in the joints of my knees. Listen, I don't know what he hits, but whatever he hits, I collapse to the floor, yeah, on one leg. He then kicks me in the face with his steel toe cap boots, knocks me sparko. I'll go back. There he is on top of me, punching the life out of me. Yes, well, punching the life out of me. He isn't very strong. He can't punch, but he's going like a lunatic, yeah? He's a nutcase. I'll get up. We have a fight. Ping! I'll knock him out. Leave it there. Knock him out. I don't steam into him. Just knock him out. He's going, this is about fourth time. Ping! Knock him out. Walking down Acton High Street, on the opposite side of the road to Lyons's. I think I'm going swimming or something like that. Nikki Smith walks towards me with an overcoat on. Fair play, it's got an overcoat. It could be cold. It's coldish. As he walks by me, he hits me so quick. He pulls his lump of lead out. He hits me over the head with his lump of lead. It goes over my head. Don't forget it's at the front, yeah? Goes over my head. Bosh. I hit the floor. Right? I hit the floor. He comes up and he knees me in the face. Goes on the floor. He's got his lump of lead now. He's battering me with his lump of lead. But, as I told you before, he isn't very strong. He can't really have a fight, but he's dangerous, yeah? I'll get up. Ping! Hit him on the chin. Down he goes. Knocked out. I've got to stop this. It's crazy. This is about the 6th, 7th time. It's happening all the time. I'm walking down the road by Acton Wimpy Bar. There's a Wimpy Bar down by, I forget the name of the pub. Wimpy Bar, yeah. So I'm walking down there. All of a sudden, I'm 4 foot in the air. He's hit me with a mini mine. He's in a mini mine. He's come off the road. He's hit me behind the legs. I've gone up in the air. On the boot of the car. On the front of the car, rolled over, yeah. He's tried to reverse the car and come at me, right? And then he's gone. That's the only time I didn't ping him on the chin, yeah? He tried to kill me, you know? Nuts, mad. So I thought, this has got to stop. This goes on and on forever. I'm down a pub in Acton, in the Anchor, and overlap, and this is like thing. And there's this guy who's come from another manor, causing problems in the pub. Nikki Smith, listen, fair play to Nikki. He comes in the pub to have a go at me, to stab me. Yeah? These guys are doing something in there they shouldn't be doing, yeah? Nikki's girlfriend's in there, and she's a good sort. This is why I'm trying to get hold of myself, yeah? She's a good sort. Nikki knows I'm in there. He knows I'm in there, and she's in there. And he's going to come to do me because he thinks now that I'm trying to get hold of his bird. She's in the middle of the Anchor, right? And he's in the middle, dancing in this little circle. These guys think she's a bit beautiful. She's a bit tightened up a little bit. They're shouting and trying. I know what's going to happen. They're going to get it, mate. We're going to get it from the pub. People, us lot in the pub. We don't have strangers going to the pub. They're going to get bashed up. What happens? Nicky comes in the pub. He comes in with a bayonet to do me, right? He's going to stand me up. He's had enough. He's going to try and kill me. He sees his geezers trying to get on his bird. He walks over to his geezer. He stabs his geezer through the shoulder here. Stabs him with his bayonet. How he never... I'm not quite sure which way he done it. How he never hits the heart and kills the guy, I don't know. He pulled the bayonet out. The congealed blood came out in lumps, yeah? Thick lumps. The guy was on the floor, lumps of blood was coming out of him. Nicky ran out of the pub. No one grasped him up. No one said that's the only time he's ever said it now. Nicky, I think he's really bad, Nicky. He's got Alzheimer's. He won't last long, Nicky. Love his heart, mate. I love him to death. The guy nearly, well, I don't know what happened to that guy, but in a bad way, yeah? Nicky's running at the pub, but that was meant for me. That was meant for me. So I was lucky. Nicky never come to kill me. Same again. There was I think the guy, I forget this guy's name, this demolition worker, but he run the demolition with Dave Rayford, yeah? The guy, blonde hair, quite a good looking guy, well muscular. Thought he was a chap. Had a go at Nikki Smith's brother over something, the younger brother. So now Nicky wants to do the guy, right? So Nicky's coming down the road with his boots on. I'm outside the pub. Now, I'm thinking Nicky's going to come over and have a row with me, so I'm ready for Nicky, yeah? But Nicky ain't after me. He's after this guy who's trying to bash who can be his brother with a bit of a clump. So the guys come over to see Nicky. Nicky sees Nicky coming on the road. He knows he's on top. He's outside the pub. It's a nice day. He walks over to his van, pulls out a baseball bat, a big baseball bat, goes over to Nicky to do Nicky with the baseball bat. Sorry, pickaxe handle, yeah? Because doing Nicky with a pickaxe handle. He swung it at Nicky. He's missed Nicky. And somehow Nicky's got hold of the baseball bat, right? I don't know how, because the guy who had the baseball bat is as strong as an ox. I don't know what happened with the guy, missed it, or what it's come out of his hand. But Nicky's got it. Nicky is smashing this guy to pieces with the baseball bat. I swear, if this guy lived, it's a miracle, yeah? He was smashing him around the head. And Nicky just dropped the bat and run, yeah? And I thought to myself, mate, me and Nicky have had about 10, 12 fights. Every time I've had a fight with Nicky, I've knocked him out. Nicky would fight 24/7 all the time. But you go anywhere near his girlfriend or anywhere near his brothers, you're dead. He would kill you. He got done for a bad robbery. He was driving down the Western Avenue. He'd just done a robbery. The old boy chasing him. He's now knocked out the back windscreen. He's now put He's now put a sawn-off shotgun out the back screen, firing at the old Bill. A 12-bore shotgun. Sawn off, putting cartridges in, firing at the old Bill. They don't, in the end, they can't chase him no more, yeah? There's helicopters up there looking for him and everything. And he eventually gets nicked. He gets put away, I don't know, for X amount of time. He comes out, and then he's done for murder, a bad murder, he kills. Nikki Smith, I should imagine, was one of the most dangerous men I've ever met in my life. Seriously. I mean, you know, for him to be ill now, get Alzheimer's and all this, that and the other was a shame, yeah? But he was one of the most vicious guys, nicest guys I've ever met. I mean, come on, me and him had about 16 fights. Out of that 16, I should say maybe 8 of them, 9 of them, I've knocked him out, yeah? The others have just run away or whatever. But me and him fought 24/7. And this is what happened with me and Nicky, yeah? I've been sent to the scrubs. I've been made up with something, done something at the scrubs for a reason, whether or not for a case or whatever. I'm at the scrubs. I'm coming down the stairs, all right, to go to another wing, walkies. Who's come up the stairs? Nicky. Now, me and Nicky we used to fight 24/7. He see me, I see him. We both laughed at each other and cuddled, mate. I couldn't believe it. We cuddled like kids, you know what I mean? All right, mate. And we used to fight all the time, you know what I mean? And I was massive, I was really big. And Nicky didn't look that well. He was cuddling up, I loved it. All right, mate, how you going? He went, a bit of trouble. I just got a recall. He was doing the life. He's stabbed someone up really, really bad and got a recall. And, you know, it looks like he's going to be in for another 20 years or whatever. And he was in a bad way, but he didn't care, mate. He didn't care. But for me and him to happen, for me to walk down the stairs, him to walk up the stairs and cuddle each other like friends, do you know, it's mad, isn't it? After all them times, me and him had a fight, you know. I loved Nicky, mate. I loved him because I respect him because of what he was. He was a man, yeah. He didn't give in. He just skinned. You think after the first time, right, after getting bashed up by me, you call it a day. But he didn't. He come back and come back and come back more and come back more, yeah. And I loved him for that, yeah. Me and Nicky, I mean, if I knew where he was, I'd go and see him, yeah. You know, it's a shame. There's another guy called Farrell McGee. People must know Farrell. This guy has a big tyre company in Hillingdon. Massive guy. 23, 24 stone. Powerful as they come. Me and him, as amateurs, used to box together, yeah. He was open class. I was intermediate. We used to go down a place called the Noble at Haverstock Hill. I used to spar with Bugner, Billy Head, and all that. He used to do the same thing. We used to fight, me and him in the ring. We used to go hammer and Tom, good southpaw, really good. This guy could have gone a long way, but it didn't. Yeah, preferred to do business rather than box. Me, I prefer to do armed robberies rather than box. And getting go with women, other than that, and box could have been a good fighter. John O'Gardner become British European champion. Me and John O'Gardner was at the same. Anyway, forget about all that. Me and Farrell become mates. Farrell used to give me work to go and do tyres. One day he put me down his company, big company in Willesden, and they had about 30 tyres in there, big wheels on tyres on wheels. Give me a sledgehammer and a bar. He said, take all them tyres off of that wheels, right? Mate, fit? I was like so fit, mate. I smashed these tyres with his sledgehammers and his fucking big bar. Got them all off in no time at all. He couldn't believe it when he come back, you know what I mean? He went, God, what? Well done, mate. And I worked with him, and this geezer was as powerful as they come. Powerful, but can have a right fight. Irish guy, I believe he was in the other mob, you know, the other firm from Ireland. I believe he was with them. Powerful man. I see him pick up tractor tyres above his head. He was powerful, right? And could really box. And he's like, woo, woo, and he was a southpaw. He was with my sister-in-law Linda, and one day I went to see Farrell. I'm now in the stage that I'm becoming a bully for money, yeah. Farrell always had money wrapped around him. He had a Mercedes, I think it was a 440, 460. It was one of them, it was a collector's item. It was absolutely mint, yeah. It was a collector's item, big headlights, massive headlights, long, beautiful car. It went up and down, zip, 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 beautiful car. And he'd upset me about some money that I wanted, just left me. So I went down there with this big panel beating rubber hammer. Jesus. Do you know, it's mad, isn't it, when you think about it now, it's crazy. I went down there, yeah. I got all this big panel beating hammer and I smashed his Merc to pieces. He's looking out the balcony window crying like a baby. Baby. I said, come down here. I said, come down here, I want to see you. You've got to give me some money. He wouldn't come down, so I smashed the guy even more. Since that time, me and him become enemies as such, yeah. But not enemies as far as fighting is concerned, but enemies, not talking to each other and things like that. He's now, he's a diabetic. He's in a bad way, I was told. He's now about 9 stone, 20 odd stone, 20, 30 stone. He lives in bed. I was told he was going to lose one of his legs, gangrene, but I don't know how true it was. If he's watching me on my podcast, Farrell McGee, I love you, mate. Big respect, and I hope you get better, mother. And then it goes on a little bit because there's other little stories. I used to go down to a place in Hamwell, and the big garages, all garages. And I was on crack. When I'm on crack, it doesn't matter who you are or what you are. If I want money, I want to get it. So I goes down to see this geezer. My mates are telling me about this fella. There's a big fat guy. He's about 30 stone, 32 stone, big fat guy. Tattoos everywhere. Bully. Proper bully. On the gear, on the crack. Is he? Is he? Yeah? Okay. I'll go down over power of mine. This geezer's massive, mate. All tattooed up. Big gold chain around his neck. Couple of kilo gold chain. Massive fucking thing. Big as my finger. Smashed it, all links. Crazy links. What do I want? I want that chain. I want that chain. So he's like, I'm in there and I want to start a war. He's there with a black guy and another guy, yeah? He's doing the cars, fat as a big fat guy, but he's a bully. He can be a bully, can't he? You know what I mean? Big guy like that. Crack. There he is. I'm smoking on the pipe. I goes in there, have a chat, and he gives a pipe. He went, nah, mate. He said, pay me for it, I'll give you it. I said, give me a pipe. He went, no. I went, crash. But listen, right, this guy in gin, it was like hitting a wall. He just stood there, you know what I mean? He stood there and like that, and I went, crack again. And I hit him with the left hook, and then the right again, and he hit the floor, yeah? But as he hit the floor, fair play to him, he took his chain off and threw it under the car. But I see him do it. So now he's on the floor, he ain't getting up, is he? He's 30 odd stone, he ain't getting up. He's got nothing to hold on to get him up, right? So I'm looking for the chain. He's going, man, get my chain, get my chain. I get the chain and I run. And I run, and I go, my mate is in the car, I get out, so I get the chain, we're gone. Goes down to Shepherd's Bush. Know this girl, good friend of mine. This girl's beautiful. Got about 6, 7 kids, all girls. Lovely, beautiful woman. Right? I said to her, do you want to buy this? She went, how much you want it? I said, I don't know, it's something. But I'm on crack. She could have given me £500 and I would have took it. She gave me £2,000, more like worth £6,000, the chain. So she gave me the money. I went. 2 days later, 3 days later, run out of crack. I was the worst person in the world on that crack cocaine. And it's true what my mate said to me. If you hadn't got put in prison, right, I was on crack. If you hadn't got put in prison when I got my IPP, I've either died from crack cocaine OD'd or I'd have been killed, shot dead. Because I was taking too many liberties with people. I was bullying people for money. I was just taking anything I could take. I took from the best mate that I could ever have, Mickey. I took something off him that I should never have took. And, to do that, broke that bond, But it's a big bond that you've got with your pals, big people. And that took that bond away, yeah? I broke that bond. And I should never have done it, But at that time, I didn't care. I was on crack. Now, I don't even take an aspirin. Tell a lie, I might take an aspirin with a headache or something like that, Well, not an aspirin, a paracetamol, yeah? But drugs, I stay off them if I can. I take drugs for my, whatever, heart conditions and all that shit, yeah? But drink, I don't really drink. Might have a lager now and again or a shandy. I don't drink, I don't take drugs. But when I took crack, I become a person that wasn't a nice person at all. Lost all my family, lost everybody, mate. But no one wanted to be around me, No one. A couple of times I've been on crack, got to my mum's. As I walk from my mum's got all bushes in the front. I get all the bush leaves and all that rubbing in my face and smell. But my mum would know that I've been on drugs, yeah? Because my mum's sister, Nellums, Terry Nellums, Adam Faith's mum, the brother Roger was on drugs, on crack. So my mum knows the smell of it, and she said to me, you're on crack. Anyway. But anyway, listen, it goes on and on, my stories, forever. But this is Bang Bang Ray Hill. Please press the like button and subscribe. Thank you. Take care. Bye-bye.